Jacksonville Jaguars fans, welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan Lugo. Thanks so much for being here. Thursday, December 11th. Right now, we are getting into Jaguars versus Jets. Your Jags are 9-4, coming off of a massive victory over the Indianapolis Colts in Jacksonville. Despite all the rain, the Jaguars were able to drop 36 on the Colts and move into first place all by themselves in the AFC South. They are third place in the AFC. They have an opportunity to potentially have a home game in the postseason and maybe multiple. You never know how the seeding will shake out. But your Jaguars, they have to take care of the Jets. They have to go 1-0 each of the next 4 weeks in order to put themselves in the best possible position heading into the postseason. They need to avoid an epic collapse, which we have seen happen in Jacksonville before. And this first opponent of the final 4 weeks of the regular season for the Jaguars is the New York Jets. We're going to dive into this game, preview it step by step. Really appreciate y'all being here. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. You can also check out GenJag.com, pick up some new Duval gear like the hat I am wearing right now. Help support the channel, look good while doing it. So the Jaguars are favored by 13.5 points. That is almost unbelievable. And it's not unbelievable based on the way these two teams have been playing. The Jaguars have been averaging over 30 points per game the last 6 games, and they have been averaging doubling up on their opponents, more than doubling up on their opponents. Over the last 4 weeks, it's been 123-52 in favor of the Jaguars. They've had some dominant victories, and the Jets have been on the losing end of some embarrassing losses lately as well. The Jets have lost 3 out of their last 4. They're 3-10 on the year. They're just not a very good football team right now, and this line kind of indicates that. But still, this is the biggest line in favor of the Jaguars that we've seen in almost 2 decades. Have to go back before Shad Khan was the owner of this football team, which is just wild to think about. There are problems, however, that the Jets can present. They're not completely devoid of talent. I do think that they are well led by Aaron Glenn. Breece Hall is a special player. Jaguars have faced some special running backs this year and done a really good job against them. Jonathan Taylor last week. Breece Hall, though, super athlete, explosive, quick, difficult to get to the ground. The Jets on the year are 7th in the NFL in rushing. They're averaging 4.7 yards per carry. However, slightly skewed and misleading based on where the Jets are currently at, because their 2 most effective rushers this year have been their quarterbacks, Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor. Neither of them practiced this week or played last week. Brady Cook taking all the reps as the number 1 quarterback for the Jets as a rookie right now. Not coming off a very impressive performance, Brady Cook. And going back to my kind of draft analysis, I did not think Brady Cook was a draftable quarterback. He's in New York, and he might start against your Jaguars in Jacksonville this week. Breece Hall was much more impactful with Justin Fields on the field. Since week 11, Breece Hall's only averaged 53 yards per game on the ground, and his yards per carry way down. The Jets' rushing attack was simply more dangerous and more effective with Fields available. But it is what it is at this point. Doesn't look like he's going to be under center for the Jets right now, and the Jets just don't seem to have a very good answer at quarterback. But Breece Hall, regardless of that, is still a very dynamic runner and receiver out of the backfield. They have a ton of investment up front and talent on the offensive line. You look at Armand Mambu, Olufashanu, Myers, the guards that they have. They have a talented group up front overall. The Jaguars have to really respect this run game, because that's going to be the way, in all likelihood, that the Jets have a chance to compete. But that's not a very good source of excitement or hope for the Jets, because quite frankly, the Jaguars have been the best run defense in football. So as long as the Jaguars come prepared, they'll probably be able to handle that. Now, the passing attack, as we mentioned last week, this whole season in general, it hasn't been pretty. I mean, that's probably putting it nicely for the Jets. It's been one of the worst passing games in the NFL. And last week against the Miami Dolphins, Brady Cook was 14 of 30, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles as well. I don't know where you draw confidence from with this passing offense since Garrett Wilson not available, and he is a dynamic starting receiver. Really good, really talented guy. A.D. Mitchell, Adonai Mitchell, came over with the Sauce Gardner trade. He has potential, but it hasn't regularly been realized. You've seen some moments here and there, but his efficiency is just atrocious. Mason Taylor, very talented young tight end. Jason Taylor's son. I'm sure Tony Baselli would like to say hi to Jason Taylor if that's a potential possibility if he shows up at the game. Said hi to him plenty in 1999 in the playoffs. But Mason Taylor, unfortunately, did not practice Wednesday with a neck injury. So again, where is the threat? The bottom line for the Jets is they're averaging 15 points per game over the last month. They've had one good game over the last month. It's against the Atlanta Falcons, a team that is really struggling themselves. But other than that, they lost to the Patriots at Patriots 27-14. They lost at the Ravens 23-10. They lost against the Dolphins in New York or New Jersey 34-10. The way the Jets are playing does not bode well for Jets fans in this one. And maybe Jets fans would just like to say, hey, let's wrap this up. Let's get as good of a draft pick as we can and try to move forward. Defensively, their best 2 players are long gone. Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. They moved on from those guys. I don't know why they didn't go for the clean sweep and trade some of the other players that they had offers on, but that's how they went about it. Will McDonald is a talented young pass rusher. He can create some problems for opposing offensive lines. Jermaine Johnson is a pretty steady player as well. You might see Quincy Williams, former Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker, although he had a hand injury this week and did not participate in practice on Wednesday, so that remains to be seen. You're not going to be seeing Andre Sisco out there. He was not playing well, but he suffered a pectoral injury in Week 8. He hasn't played since then. And the one guy you might see, Colin Saunders. He's now a Jet, and he could potentially be suited up for this one. He's played some snaps for them since the Jaguars decided to move on. The one area outside of Breece Hall, who's, again, a talented player, they have very dangerous returners. Kene Nwangu has a kick return touchdown this year. Isaiah Williams has 2 punt return touchdowns. Again, the 2 areas that the Jets are pretty, at least talented in, running the ball, returning kicks, the Jags are strong. The Jags have a strong kick coverage and punt coverage units, and they're really good against the run. So the Jets are just not well positioned to make this a really competitive game unless the Jaguars let them. The Jaguars, they can't get in their own way. If they do, the Jets can compete. The Jags have shown inconsistencies at times. You haven't seen that a lot throughout the last month, but the Jags have shown inconsistencies at times with their penalties, drops, turnovers at the quarterback position, and at times lack of ability to get after the quarterback on defense. At times, coverage not looking the best. But again, over the last month, the Jaguars have been as good as any team in football. They are peaking at the right time. And the Jaguars have every player on their 53-man roster practicing right now. For the first time in a long time, they are healthy. Obviously, no Travis Hunter. We know that. He's not going to be back this year. And a couple other guys, Caleb Branshaw, Jalen McLeod. But for the most part, the Jaguars are very healthy. They have established a lot more depth due to some injuries and some young guys having to play football. But looks like they're going to have a fairly clean bill of health heading into this game. So the Jags, stay focused, stay locked in on your growth mindset, being a mature team, and there's no reason the Jaguars shouldn't be able to cover the spread even as it grows to 13.5 points. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. We will have a lot more to talk about with this football game and the Jacksonville Jaguars heading into this pivotal game. Most important game in Jags history if you talk to Tony Baselli. Again, really appreciate y'all being here. Have a good one.